Cruising.
Cruising. Nice.
Scooping up some more little things across the board down here.
Yeah, a lot of projects people could be buying down here.
What do we still got for liquidations? Looking on like a 15-minute for Bitcoin and Ethereum. What is it looking like on a little larger time frame?
Yeah, we'll jump into liquidations. We'll do like the 4 hour, I'll say. So
Yeah.
on the 4 hour, we'll just put everything across the board on the 4. It looks bad on the 4 hour though because the short-term moving average wants to cross under the long-term, and we never hit that 40K yet. If we hit the 40K, then we'll get bigger bounces, obviously. But this is that short-term scalping range. I already mentioned before, probably even before Trump gets elected, we could hit 40K for Bitcoin because that weekly RSI wasn't completely oversold. But here's our liquidations. I'll zoom it out a little bit. I'll take a screenshot, put it in Paint, and then go from there for these liquidations. So we can map out the bottoms and the tops from these liquidation levels from the people high leverage. But Doge already cleared its block, whereas Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic did not. So let me get this for you guys on the screenshot. I'm going to edit that screenshot because I have drawings off right now. But this isn't a bad area for a short-term scalp. So we're going to start the top side. Liquidations goes to 72,261 for Bitcoin. So, and then the bottom side is about 60,342. When we go over to ETH, the top side's about 3664. And then that bottom side's about 2758. But remember, every time we get close to these liquidations, sometimes we just gap down like another 5%, 10%. Top of liquidations for Doge is 14.62, so that's very promising. It's very high up there for the top of liquidations on Doge. And then we're already at the bottom, almost, about 11.3. Matic over here, the top side's about 57.8 cents, still pretty high. And then the bottom side for Matic on these 4-hour liquidations are about 46.9. So we actually hit very close to those as well. Some new ones were opening up down there on Matic. So this 4-hour liquidations. And then I'll throw that in charts channel because I had to add the tests and stuff to charts. And then I'll pop that up. I'll pop the image open in the browser for people to look in the browser as well, just so that they can see it. So this is the 4-hour liquidation. So 72,261 for Bitcoin for the top side. For the people that are long, liquidations down below are 60,342. Ethereum 3,664 top side. Bottom side 2,758. Matic top side 57.8 cents. Bottom side 46.9 cents. For Dogecoin, it looks the most promising. Top side's 14.62 cents and the bottom side 11.30. We've already been very close to the bottom side liquidations for Doge. If it gaps down another 10%, that's understandable. But right now, I'm very bullish on Doge. I even entered a new position that I went and posted on Discord, share your entries channel for that Dogecoin long. And we did have some green blocks that failed. You look over here, this green block did okay. Because from this green block, it went up over 1%, so that was okay. This green block, not really good. The long green blocks were very bad. But yeah, if you zoom in here, Like this green block also for Matic is okay. And actually we had a big wake up. It's almost 2% for Matic. Ethereum green block was up over 0.5%. Bitcoin was up over 0.5%. So traditionally, if you're even taking profits at 0.3% on green blocks, most of these green blocks fill. Sometimes you're able to squeeze that 1%. Let's go back to some more green blocks that did fail us over the week. This green block, it came down but went back up. So this green block was kind of okay. It did drop down, gave people a little bit room to enter before going up about 1% for Doge. For Bitcoin, the price didn't really go down under the green block. It actually went up for a little while, over 1.4%, and then into the next green block over 1.3%, and a local top over 1.8%. This green block was a bad green block. We had a bearish pennant forming after this green block. It did go up a little bit, not much though. I'll show you this one. Could you get about 0.5% or 1/3% out of this? Yeah, you could have got 1/3%. You could not have gotten more than 1/3% out of this Bitcoin green block, which is 5 minutes, so 1/3% is fine. But this is the one that failed. So I got this one as a failure. So this was an absolute failure green block. Why did it fail? Well, the short-term moving average was crossing under the long-term, so it's super bearish. So even though we had a green block, the green block's going to fail in situations where the short-term moving average crossed under the long-term. So that's why that green block failed. And the green blocks are usually better when they're oversold up to the hourly or bigger time frames. We were oversold in the 5 minutes, which is great. The MACD wasn't there for us though, and we were not oversold on bigger time frames yet. And then in the past, like all the other green blocks did very well before this point. So we had the long for Trump, short for Biden, and at this green block, we went up about 1.8%. That's very phenomenal. If you can break 1% on a green block, that's pretty good for a green block. And we had a falling wedge after that, which was also bullish. So green block into falling wedge and into the top side target. We hit the target there for about 66,637. So after we hit that target, a lot of people started taking profits. But let's go through. Let's look at the hourly real quick. And I just want to look at the RSI and MACD levels. So we're going to go to the hourly RSI. Actually, Bitcoin is trying to curve back up on the RSI. But look at the hourly RSI. We're oversold. Let me take a screenshot, throw this in there. This is the 1 hour RSI levels. Is the video in high quality? Yeah. Let me hide my face for the screenshot. We don't need my face in there for screenshots like this. So once we get oversold on the hourly like this, it can start bouncing. We could start seeing 4 to 5% bounces in areas like this when we are oversold on the hourly. The bounces are stronger if we get oversold on bigger time frames like the 4 hour and above. So I'm going to throw this in the chart channel as well. So Matic is the one that's the least oversold though. So it's not oversold as much as the others. Dogecoin is the best down here. Dogecoin looks the best down here for the oversold level. And let's go to 4 hour. Oh, 4 hour also oversold. Look at that. Let's take a screenshot, throw that in there. 4 hour oversold, great. And it's good having all this together, all the RSI levels. I'll do up to the weekly. So I'll do daily next and then weekly after this. So this is the 4 hour RSI. So now let's switch it to the daily. Daily's not there yet. It's getting there, but daily's just not there yet. So if daily was there, this would be like a prime entry, but we're not there yet on the daily. This could be like a good short-term entry, but not the best entry. And if you're looking at this on the daily, obviously Matic is the most oversold now on the daily. So I think Matic could do some big things as we get the news that it's not a security anymore. We have the Ethereum ETFs. And then when we look at the daily MACD level is actually very scary. We can kind of see how the daily MACD level is very lagging, but this is what the daily MACD levels looks like. So we've been losing bullish momentum since the 22nd of July. It's about 10 days that we've been losing the bullish momentum and then finally picked up the bearish momentum. So I'm switching over here to the daily MACD level to show that we are picking up more bearish momentum. We're in that bearish momentum. Sometimes the bearish momentum is when you buy the drop sale. Let me get this mapped out on the Discord real quick as well. The daily MACD is very important. So since we're picking up the bearish momentum on the daily, the strategy could be wait till the RSI on weekly is oversold. And then now, since I have that daily MACD, we're going to go to the weekly RSI levels. So heading down to the weekly real quick. Because the weekly MACD looks like this. Because the weekly MACD is losing the bearish momentum. So you kind of see my train of thought here. So since the weekly MACD is losing the bearish momentum, once that RSI is oversold, it's game on. People are going to lock in positions. And then we'll get the big green candles that you're used to. Let me draw this on here as well real quick. So this is weekly MACD. Weekly MACD. So weekly MACD levels are losing bearish momentum. So now, for the final thought, we have to go into the weekly MACD. From weekly MACD into the weekly RSI. So let's go over here. The thing is, last time we were oversold on the RSI, people got some good entries, like back here, July 8th. Let me remind you what happened July 8th. Price of Doge was at 9.1. We didn't go lower than that right there. So from that weekly RSI getting oversold before, people were able to ride Doge up over 40%. You're looking for a 40% trade, this is what you should be aiming for. So if we get oversold a second time, great. I'm not sure we'll get oversold a second time unless that liquidity gets pulled. But let's throw the weekly MACD levels together with the weekly RSI and then take a look here. This is what the weekly RSI looks like. If we get oversold again one more time, it's like a prime entry. If people get shaken out of their longs, if they don't use the $0 liquidation strategy and they get shaken out, we're going to get oversold. Liquidities get pulled a little bit, and it's going to be a prime entry to go long. So weekly. So weekly RSI already bounced from oversold once. But it's not completely oversold right now. Since it's not completely oversold right now, this is not a prime entry. It's a decent entry. It's a good entry. Price will probably slip down a little bit, but some people waiting might get cheaper prices. So we'll see bigger buys once that happens. Let's go back to the 5 minutes, what we're charting up here. And in the 5 minutes, we get oversold again on the 5 minutes when we're at areas like this. Probably get a decent bounce as well. And this is just a regular 5 minutes chart. So once we get oversold completely on a weekly, if we go under like 9 cents again on Doge, probably get oversold on the weekly, I think you'll get bigger buys, big buy pressure in that range. And let me screenshot this so we have the price real quick as well in the charts here. So this is the, I'll take a screenshot of this current prices while we wait for the weekly RSI to get oversold. So we're not completely oversold, but this is where we're setting. It's not the best entries, but it's okay. Do I think people are going to be able to get okay entries? Yes. I think people can get better entries if they're waiting a little bit longer. 40K could still happen. We're losing liquidity in crypto as people are taking profits near the top. The other day, I shared it in Discord. Within a minute, the U.S. government moved over 2 billion Bitcoin, $2 billion worth of Bitcoin, and we've been coming down in price ever since that news where they moved $2 billion worth of Bitcoin into another wallet. So Biden could be trying to dump Bitcoin before Trump gets in office just to make the Bitcoin holders and conference look bad. It's a short-term political move, but once that happens in the long term, it just makes it a little bit cheaper for the United States government to start dollar cost averaging into that Bitcoin. The only issue is if the government starts a reserve and starts buying Bitcoin for a reserve, the moment they announce it and after their first purchase, that first purchase, you're going to have people front running them for every single purchase after that. So what happens when you have thousands and maybe even millions of traders front running a US government to get Bitcoin after they do their first purchase to see that they stuck through and kept their promise? Well, price will go parabolic on a lot of the altcoins as well. So I'm hoping we get that $40,000 dip on Bitcoin. I hope that happens before the government ever makes any purchase, because we need the price to come down. We need that weekly RSI to be oversold. We need that weekly RSI to be oversold. So my prediction that I put in the Discord is that Bitcoin will drop to 40K before weekly RSI is completely oversold. And if you look at 40K on my Discord, I've been calling for 40K for a long time. And it's I have to give a reminder sometime that Bitcoin still has room to go down in 40K. The weekly RSI still isn't complete yet. And the 200 EMA is at 32K, so we still have room to go to 40K. We have that moving average at 50,000. How close did we come already? Well, when you load up the Bitcoin chart on the daily and zoom in over here, when you zoom in on the daily, we went as low as 53,000 already. So 53, that's only $13,000 away from the 40K. 40K will be a lot of pain. Do I think 40K the absolute bottom? No. It could slip down to that 32K exponential moving average that we're looking at on the chart earlier. But I will say that since the all-time high back here, we haven't made a new high. We haven't made a new high in over 140 days. And we already came down as low as 22% one time already. Over 120 days, no new all-time high. And in areas like this, when this areas start to break, people get very skeptical and they get sketched out, and then we come down hard. And as we come closer to this moving average, which is at 59K, once we start breaking it, this yellow line crosses under the orange line. When that happens, it's a recipe for price to come down hard. When that happens, price usually going to come down 20% on Bitcoin. And first we have to cross here, so price go down around 58K, then drop 20%. That will get us close to 46K. Let me take a screenshot. Some of you guys want to know this in the screenshot, and I'll draw the rest of it in the other program. So basically how we can get to 40K, I'll just map out the steps. Very simple. This one's not too hard. And I already have the reminder to remind people before that we can go to 40K. It's not out of the realm of possibility for those liquidations in the long term. So this is our Bitcoin daily chart. So this is the Bitcoin daily chart. Basically, if short term So all right. And then let me draw a note right here so people will understand. And then let me make sure that I have the right colors as well. Oh no. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. 40K is still a possibility. So I threw that chart in the chart channel. If you're in the Discord, you can see that chart. Pop it right here. Basically, that chart. I put the short-term moving average crosses under the long-term moving average around 58,890. Then we'll drop about 20% to 46K. If it crosses a little bit lower, then we'll get to 40K a lot faster. But I think on the short term, we're going to bounce. On the short term, we're going to bounce. I already entered a long. If you go over here, share your entries. I entered a long right here at 11.43. I shared it in the Discord, added to my long 11.43 entry, and it is there. So we're gonna watch on the short term because I'm taking this trade. I have enough dry powder to take this trade, and both if we do bleed down, I'll do the trades much lower if we hit that 40K for Bitcoin. That's my strategy. If you want to trade on the same platform I'm trading on, then I'm sure there's already over 100 people on Discord trading on the same platform I'm trading on. They had a free airdrop for the WXT tokens, but the airdrop's over now. I hope all you guys got your free airdrops. If you got all your free airdrops, great. Because, woo, boom. But, sorry, let me, let's watch it on the short term, though, because on the short term, I think we could rip. But when that weekly, when we get liquidation crunch, when people are sleeping 3 o'clock in the morning, we get those big drops down. Salgado, I see you're in the Discord. You started using wheats. I saw some of your trades. Are you in a Doge long right here? Or is anybody in a long right here that's they're waiting for the price to go up, or still holding from a higher long?
Long on Doge.
You're long on Doge? What made you go long on Doge instead of Bitcoin?
I have a spot of Doge as well, and it just seems attractive right now. Hey, what do you think?
Well, last time I bought on spot was at 11 cents. A little bit under 11 to 11 cents. And I like it. I like Doge on spot here because even if it slips down, I know it will bounce up fast.
I thought maybe it's gonna dip a little bit more now. I thought Bitcoin is gonna drop to 60.01 something. Yeah. What's the bottom of liquidation? 5 minutes there. They go all the way to what?
Oh, bottom liquidations on the 5 minutes is about 60,139 for Bitcoin.
I thought they're gonna take only the upper blocks to 61,000.
I still like GameStop, but the Roaring Kitty guy, I think he was a billionaire on paper, technically at one point. So next time GameStop dips down a little bit more, I will probably acquire more. If you want to hear about a stock that I like, I already put it in the Discord. I've been telling people about this stock for a while. I'll pop it up. I'll pop up a stock that I like for you guys real quick as well. So in Discord, I had a stock that I like.